Hello, my name is Sandro, and if you don't know me, I was a runner-up from last year's Bake Off, and I am here with the amazing Chloé Hayden. Hi, Chloe.
Hello.
So Chloe wrote this amazing book, Differently, Not Less, and it is just super amazing, and we're going to talk about it today. So I've got a few questions here, Chloe, if you don't mind.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah. Actually, before we want to get into the question, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, talk about the book a little bit, and a bit about who you are?
Yeah, cool. Okay. Hi, my name's Chloe. I'm from Australia, if you couldn't tell by the funny accent. I am an actor, I'm an author, I'm a disability advocate, I'm a horse rider, I'm a mad Disney nerd, I love concerts, and I'm also autistic, and that's kind of a very large part of my journey, and a very big reason as to why I do what I do.
Also, a little bit of a question here, and it might put you on the spot here, but what is your favorite cake?
My favorite cake?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, honestly, I have like anything that's like white, bland, and boring is like the
Okay.
so honestly, like just the stock stand vanilla cake. But I'm also vegan. But like you can get bussin' vegan cakes now. I had one for my birthday that was like a vanilla cake, but it had like these like rainbow swirls all through it, and it was so good, and also had little frogs on it too. So it was just
Sometimes simple vanilla cake is all you need. Awesome. So let's get into it, right? Different, not less, was written because you felt underrepresented when growing up. What are your thoughts on the direction things are heading? Do you feel more still needs to be done?
Yeah, 100%. I started writing different, not less, and I started my entire journey initially via blogging because there is so much representation that needs to be heard. When I started my journey, there was no one speaking for us that I could see. Certainly no one that was my own age, that came from the same experience that I did. So I started this journey, and I've been on this journey for about 8, 9 years now. But just because I've been doing it for this long doesn't mean that we are even close to the way to where representation actually needs to be. We still have such an immensely long way to go.
I definitely feel you on that. I completely agree. We do have a long way to go, but we will get there.
Yes.
Positive. Awesome. So, how did you find writing the book? I'm really interested in knowing that actually.
Oh my god. Okay. So like I said just before, I've been a blogger for like 8, maybe 9 years now, and I've always loved writing. Writing has always been my outlet. Even before I kind of started doing it on like a public platform, creative writing was always how I spent my free time. Um, Getting the offer to write this book was like an absolute dream come true. Like, every kid who loves writing dreams of becoming a published author. But I got my writing contracts the same week that I got my Heartbreak High contract. So it was like near the end of the lockdown, which had gone for like a gazillion years. So I had gone for so long with doing nothing to having two hectic things happening at the same time. So it was a dream come true, but also absolutely mad.
Yeah, it's like almost overwhelming, but it feels really good. You just go through
Yeah.
it. So, like, the whole writing process of it, like going back to sort of your past experience, was that an easy thing for you? Was it sort of difficult?
It was a very healing thing to do. In some ways, it wasn't too bad because I've shared my experience for a very long time before it became done in a written, paperback format. In other aspects, there are a lot of my journey that I haven't shared before on social media, on my blog or on YouTube or anything like that. So some things were like, no, this is cool. I've already shared this. This is, I'm out of the way. I'm healed from this. And then there was other things which I hadn't previously shared, which I decided that then was the right time to do it. And it was incredibly difficult, but also something that I knew needed to be told.
Wow. I love that you said healing. That's such a nice way to put it. It really, really is. And in the book, you touched on some negative experiences at school, which is it's heartbreaking to hear, but also it's like I relate to it because I felt the same. I felt I had a lot of experiences that were similar to yours in school. So have you found speaking about those um, experiences openly help with the feelings of it, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. I think, look, I've had a lot of school trauma, um, to the point where I couldn't even take my siblings to school because the idea of even walking into a school gate was so terrifying to me. Before I wrote this book, I was working as a motivational speaker, with my main audience being teachers. So I've kind of found a lot of healing and a lot of overcoming that trauma, and learning from that trauma because of that. But yeah, writing this has definitely kind of been a continuation of that.
It's really nice. You do have to almost teach the teachers how to teach, which is weird, but it's you have to, and you know, it's a journey we're all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are passionate about your own special interests. Can you talk about these and how loved ones around neurodivergent people can help them enjoy their interests with confidence?
Yes, absolutely. So, I've always called special interests eye sparkles. And I wholeheartedly believe with everything in me that this is exactly what they are. So many people, particularly the general population, particularly non-autistic people, see these special interests or hyperfixations in ADHD terms, or whatever you want to call it. They see them as a quirk and something strange and obsessions, but special interests are so incredibly vital to the neurodivergent community. They help us find careers and jobs, but not even on that scale. They help us find friendships and learn how to communicate, and find passion in something. They help us to find a community, and they help us to find confidence within ourselves. Special interests are the most beautiful, incredible things, and is so vital that we work towards a better understanding of, and more encouragement of as well.
Yes, I love that. And nurture it more when people have interest. We shall nurture it more so it can grow more. Absolutely. Love that. So what will readers take from different, not less?
I hope that non-autistic people and people that for the most part seem to fit this societal mold of normal that we've created, I hope the people that read it that fit that mold can understand the beauty and the importance of difference, and also how that they can use their own differences, whatever that may be, to help others and to help the fairy tale and the stories of other people. And I hope that autistic people and other people from marginalized communities that read this book, I hope they can read it and that they can find comfort and sameness and understanding, and that in reading this book, hopefully it sparks even the tiniest bit of, if she's okay with who she is, then I can be okay with who I am.
Absolutely. I applaud you for that as well. Absolutely. I'm not an autistic person. I'm definitely an ally. I'm definitely an love the community, work with the community, and want the best for the community. And even reading your book, what I take from it myself, not being an autistic person, is a lot of knowledge from an inside person on how they feel. And it's such a blessing to have, because not everyone has that. The people I've worked with haven't had that to be able to express themselves the way you did, and it's so beautiful. Um, so what would be the key points you would like someone to take? What would be the main things you'd want someone to take?
Understands that who you are is exactly who you're supposed to be. And I think the key point is in the title. Understand that different isn't less, it's more.
Yes, it is. It's so boring to be the same.
Like, not only is it boring to be the same, but literally our world would literally die if everyone was the exact same.
Exactly, 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 absolutely. So far, since it's been published, how has the feedback been? How has everyone received it?
It's been mind blowing and incredible and so wickedly cool. I've been getting messages from people, literally all over the world, saying that this is the first time that they've felt represented and they've been able to see themselves in, in published media. I've gotten messages from autistic people themselves and from parents and carers of autistic people and from teachers. I've gotten messages from doctors who were like, hey, I've realized that I've been wrong for a lot of my life, and I'm able to better support people now. I'm able to better support my patients now after reading your book. It's incredible because the reason I wrote this book is because my mum cried when when I got my autism diagnosis, and if she had been handed my book, then maybe she wouldn't have cried in it. And I want the reason I wrote this is to make sure that those scenarios happen less and less, that people don't have to go what I went through when I got my diagnosis. And the feedback that I'm receiving is showcasing that's starting to happen, which is so incredible.
Wow, that is amazing. You must be so proud of yourself. You have to be so proud of yourself for like super amazing. Wow. And how does it feel to be a published author? That is super.
Dude, it's so weird because, like I said, like as a kid, like all I wanted to do, like every little kid's like, oh, I want to be an actor, I want to be an author, I want to be an astronaut, and all of them seem like such like crazy what the heck things. And like now I am a published author, and I literally I just came home from shopping in Dublin with my nan, and I went to this like tiny little shopping center, and my book was in there, and I was like, I wasn't even expecting to see it in there, and I was like, whoa, that's my book, like in like this tiny little shopping center in Ireland, like what the heck, like it. I had like a little like bestseller sticker on it, and I was like, what the
Wow, that's amazing. Well done. That is so super. I hope you took a picture of that.
oh dude, I was like vlogging in there. I was like, hey, this is cool as.
That's so sick. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So you are transparent about your health issues, particularly on social media. Do you experience any negative feedback, and how do you navigate those comments?
um I get a lot of comments both in regards to my neurotype and also in regards to my chronic illnesses, saying that I'm faking and that someone with these illnesses couldn't possibly be doing what I'm doing, which is quite silly, but also I guess just kind of showcases our lack of understanding of both mental health, of different neurotypes, and of chronic illness. Um, I do struggle a lot. I have a condition called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which means that my autonomic nervous system doesn't work. I also have endometriosis and adenomyosis. And there are a lot of things that I do struggle with because of these things. And people don't see these struggles. They see the sparkles and the flowers and the crazy hands when I talk, and they go, you seem fine. They don't see that I have to dose myself to the eyeballs on pain medication every day. And they don't see when I have to spend 3 days in bed after I do all of these talks and stuff. People see what they want to see. And also a lot of people don't enjoy seeing disabled and chronically ill people thrive.
Mm, that's so silly. It's so silly. Everyone should be able to thrive. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's those not so positive comments. You know what? It is just lack of understanding, and it just shouldn't be happening. You're totally awesome, always. So you should be getting nothing but praises and positive feedback. If I'm something to say about it. So when filming Heartbreak High, was enough reasonable adjustments made for you to feel comfortable on set from the start?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I wouldn't work with a production company that didn't allow adjustments. I'm not going to give myself to someone who isn't going to give themselves to me. When I got this job, and they obviously knew this already, because I have always been incredibly vocal about how horrendous the work industry, particularly the television and film industry, is for disabled and autistic people. So they were well aware of my stance on it beforehand, and yet they still chose to hire me. And literally the day that I got the job, I was having phone calls and Zoom meetings with the directors, with the producers, with the costume designers, with every single person going into this show, asking them, how can we make this accessible for you? And when I flew up and I moved to Sydney for the 5 months, I had meetings in person with them going, how can we accommodate you? What do you need us to do? It was never, you need to do this for us. It was, how can we help you? And that it didn't cost them anything extra. It didn't take any extra time. It literally did not change the film set for the worse for any of them whatsoever. In fact, all of my castmates told me within a week of them asking what my accommodation needs were, it was spilling out to all of them too. And all of their accommodation, because every single human being has needs. Every single human being has accessibility needs. regardless of what they may be. And it was spilling out to the rest of the cast and crew as well, where everyone's accessibility needs were being met. And yeah, just from day one, it was never seen as a fault of my own or an issue of my own. It was just seen as, this is a human being who has different needs to mine. Great. How can we support that?
It's so important that though that workplaces really adjust, and it's something that I'm trying to work on myself. Part of my project to do is to get work placements to adjust to the community, to the autistic communities, people with autism, to have a sensory room. If you have a staff room, you should have a sensory room. You should have a, you know, whatever it is that that person needs, because there shouldn't be. It should be completely accessible. So equal rights to all. You know.
And it's not that difficult. And we saw that during COVID, like the amount of people with chronic illnesses that can't go into a typical workforce. And they're like, hey, can we work at home? And the workplace is like, no, you can't do that. And then COVID happens and everyone has to work at home. And it was easy.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, okay, well, now that the wider community needs it, you can do it. But when it's just a smaller minority, you can't do it. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It will happen with using your voice and so many other people, myself and other people involved. Together, we will make it happen for sure. So your career is going from strength to strength, which is amazing. Has it all been positive, or has there been added attention that has made things difficult?
There has definitely been a very big learning curve of figuring out how to look after my mental health while adjusting to this very new, very, very, very different period of my life to what I'm used to. And it's an adjustment period that I'm still very much in the depths of, trying to figure out how to look after myself and juggle my mental health and my needs, and while also trying to juggle this new career and all of these incredible things which I am so privileged to have happening to me and to be doing. But trying to figure out how to kind of mix match the two of them together is definitely a massive learning curve.
But you know that sometimes the positivity is so overwhelming as well that it makes things just that a little bit easier, that you can get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that learning is really good. I love that you're learning through it as well. It's amazing. What a journey is. You're in a journey, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is one, right? I've seen your Instagram. You are super popular. How has it been to adjust to having that increased recognition?
You know what? I think I'm quite lucky in some ways, because it wasn't kind of just like a overnight success sort of thing. And it may look like that to a lot of people, particularly people that discovered me because of Heartbreak and all that sort of stuff. But I've been in this industry. I've been an influencer, if you will, for 6-7 years now. So it's, even though the kind of like massive peak has been very fast, there hasn't been a steady incline for quite some time. So I've been able to kind of slowly adjust to the comments and the amount of people that are perceiving me and the hate comments and all that sort of stuff too. It wasn't like an overnight thing. I've kind of been able to go through this period for like 6-7 years before it kind of went like boofed and went crazy. So I was lucky in that sense.
Wow. Yeah, bro. It's really nice it's really nice when you're liked and when people shower you with lots of love, especially on social media, when you just get showered with love and support. I'm definitely one support. You're sure to keep growing. We've got another fan here. So, and how are you ensuring that throughout all of this beautiful journey that is a bit of a roller coaster at times, how are you ensuring that your mental health is looked after? What are you doing to look after yourself?
I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget or not have time for the things that do bring me joy and that brought me joy prior to this journey. The main things of that being with my animals. I live on a farm. I live with horses, and my horses have always been the most important part of my life. So trying to make time to just take my horses out on the trails and just be Chloe, just be the version of Chloe that I've been for a long time, instead of the version of Chloe that society perceives me to be. Trying to make time for my family and the people that are close to me. Therapy appointments, making sure that I have time for therapists, because therapy is mad important. Everyone should have a therapist. yeah, I think just making sure to take time for my mental health and to look after my mental health has been more important than ever.
That is awesome. And that is coming from Chloé Hayden. Everyone should have a therapist. I completely agree. Yes. So what's next for you, Chloe? What's next? Yay.
Um, oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm working on a few projects at the moment. Heartbreak High is going to start filming very soon, which I am very excited about. But you know what? I don't particularly know, and I also don't particularly mind. My entire kind of philosophy through this entire crazy ass journey that I've been on has always just been, I want to make sure that other young people don't have to go through what I did. And for a while that started with blogging, and then it turned to YouTubing, and then it turned to writing a book and being in a Netflix series. I don't know what way that's going to show up next. I'm just kind of riding this roller coaster and seeing where it takes me.
I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful ride anyway. It's going to lead to more amazing things. I can't wait to look. I look forward to seeing all the amazing things you achieve. And I look forward to reading the rest of this book. I'm going to finish reading it. So yes, it's been so nice talking to you. Absolutely lovely talking to you. It's been so nice to meet you. And I'm sure that we will talk again in the near future and hopefully bake one day together.
I can't wait to save myself. So like we're hang out and you can teach me.
Okay, that is perfect. We will set that up.
Oh my God, love. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, Chloe. Thanks for spending some time with me and talking about your book. Different, not less. If you don't have it, go grab it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.